everybody. This is Jeff Veale, the business guru, coming to you late at night from downtown Manila. And I've got an awesome guest on the show. Like me, he's a bit of a gypsy. He has been in his earlier life. He's travelled all over the place. His name is Justin D'Angelo. His title is a founder, and the company's name is, it's too simple, I can't spit it out, Printera, as in A, print, then A, Printera, and A on the end. How do you pronounce that, Justin?
It's Printera. Yep.
Printera, there you go, guys. Yeah, that's from the horse's mouth, Printera. And he's in, it's very interesting, you people won't know what he's talking about until he explains it to you. He's in additive construction, right? And years the industry's for. Printera is a pioneering concrete additive manufacturing company in South Florida, specializing in precision concrete 3D printing for architects and landscape features. Think these big buildings, guys, that want something a bit different. This is the man they go to. Printera leverages cutting-edge concrete 3D printing equipment to produce elements with superior detail and pattern qualities, lending itself to intricate columns, benches, planters, facades, and more. Printera's deployed the first concrete 3D printing reef in Florida. Wow, in 2023. How cool is that? And participated in the world's largest 3D printed building in Wellington. Today, Printera serves projects all over the country. Key achievements, see above. We've seen that. We're going to hear some more shortly. Also, first concrete 3D printed feature in New York City. Personal motto, I love his personal motto, great relationships drive great products and ultimately success. Open, honest, clear communication, that's very what it's all about, guys, with customers on a personal level, encourage an us mentality, where it's a win-win, where the team can be effective together. Interesting fact about himself, he calls himself a global citizen. I love this one because I'm stealing this one. Living abroad in 3 countries and being fortunate enough to visit over 40. This man's a gypsy. I wonder how someone stopped and held him down for a while. So once you start traveling, guys, it's a bug. It gets old here. His information, we're going to promote him all across social media. We'll tell you about that shortly. It's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage Justin D'Angelo. How are you, Justin?
Doing really good, Jeff. Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
You're most welcome, my friend. Tell us about your journey and what inspired you to pursue your current career path. Where did that all begin?
Sure. So, to me, it wasn't so much about what exactly I was going to do. I just always had the entrepreneurial bug. Maybe it's something to do with all the travel as well, right? And you're just the exposure to folks that are right. You see new stuff, and you're in proximity to people who are kind of carving their own destiny, and that's just always been something that's on my radar. And as far as the genesis of this specific business, it happened about 6 years ago. I saw an article come through about a company that was 3D printing a house, and it intrigued me enough to reach out to them and say, hey, whatever you guys are doing, I'm interested. And so I took a vacation day and I went out to observe them one day, and I left that experience saying, yeah, this is going to change the face of construction. I want to get involved. And I'm not a general contractor by background. So I said, what can I do in a smaller footprint? So rather than print the entire structure, we can do, the accents and features. So that was the genesis. Yep.
Love it. What country was that in?
So that was also here in the U.S. I lucked out that the project that was going on was in Florida for the local company, but the technology overall is actually really pioneered by China. There's a company out of China called 𝐰𝐢𝐬𝐴, so they're the first real commercial application of it. And then the technology was more broadly adopted in Europe. So Europe is kind of the leaders in the technology right now.
Architecture's their bag, isn't it, Europe?
Yep.
Tell me, what's been the most challenging aspect of your work, and how have you overcome that over the years?
So there's this business is kind of unique because we're creating a new market, right? So it's not like we've started a new restaurant, right, or a new way of doing something people are familiar with. So a big component of this is getting out and educating people that this is even a solution, right? That this technology even exists and can be used in architecture. Yeah, so from a startup standpoint, that's all the wrong formula for a startup, because we come to the market and we're burning cash and we don't have a good revenue, and then you add into the fact that what we're doing is in construction and it's high design. So we often get implemented at the design phase of a construction project, and then they say, great, we want to use 3D printing, but then you don't see an order for 2 years because it just takes so long for because in the U.S. construction just takes forever here, and when we're integrating with the architect, it's from the design standpoint, so it goes through multiple iterations with the end customer, and then typically the elements that we're actually fabricating are finish features for a project. So
Yes.
if you look at our biggest project that we've done to date so far in New York City, that was very early in the project scope, and they basically retrofit entire skyscraper out before our piece was called for. So it's a long development channel time, but here we are, and we're starting to fill our backlog a little more, and it's been very interesting.
You're at base camp, my friend. You've got a mountain to climb.
Yep, exactly. Sure do.
Yeah. Tell us about an important moment in your career that pretty much changed your direction. Was that aha moment?
So in my career, coming out of uni, I went to work for a Fortune 50 company, big United Technologies. They have a couple business units people know, like Carrier Air Conditioning and Otis Elevator.
Yeah.
And
Big
for
boys.
me, exactly the big boys, but it was a real understanding of that not being the type of environment that I wanted to be in. So I worked there for 6 years.
Wow.
I did IT project management and ERP system deployments. And so I really got to see kind of the belly of the beast in that regard, and just how it stifles innovation and things move very slowly.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was also a big impetus for me to kind of take in, the decision that, yes, I need to go and do this entrepreneurial thing, but I also learned a lot about, how companies at that size and scale operate, and how we can be efficient to service those businesses, but do things our own way.
They operate like the day Titanic in many cases.
Yeah.
I like to be a speedboat. I like to be able to change direction. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
In your opinion, what are the key qualities or skills that have contributed to your amazing success? What do you believe they are?
So, I think the number one, right, is you have to be a risk taker to start this type of business to begin with, right? Any entrepreneur is a risk taker. And if you didn't take the risk in the first place, then you're automatically not successful. Beyond that, before we started the podcast up, right, we used the word that word empathy, I think is a pretty good one, because,
Yes.
Whether it's your customers or your employees or just any of your stakeholders along the way, to be able to connect with them on a human level, and understand what their challenges are.
That's right. Listen to them. That's right. Empathy.
Yeah, exactly. You listen to them, and you're a better problem solver, right? Because
Absolutely.
if you can walk a mile in their shoes, then you'll understand, what stones they're stepping on, right? That's good.
Yeah.
So
I'll add to that, you got it in spades, because you're talking about your company and your ideas. You also got integrity. That's a big one, guys, in business. You got to have integrity.
sure.
You're not gonna last. If you haven't got integrity, guys, you ain't going to last. You're not going to go the journey. You might go for a little while, but you're not going to go the distance. I'm going to tell you.
Yep.
Tell me, how do you stay motivated, as you've been doing, and continue to innovate in your field? I suppose you're looking at new ideas and new ways and better ways of doing things all the time, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So I think there's like a multiple pronged answer to that, right? So one is just staying well apprised of what's happening in the industry, right?
Yes.
Then that can be specific to additive manufacturing, or just broader, right? Like the adaptation of AI across the field, right? It's pertinent to your life, Jeff. It's pertinent to mine.
Absolutely.
So
I love
just
it. Employee.
right, exactly. It's amazing. So staying abreast of all those things is really key, and then making it possible as well for people to contribute ideas, and afford them the time and opportunity to try things, right?
Yes.
If you're 100% heads down and in the weeds all the time, chasing customer contracts and things, and it could be at the expense of development on your own company.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we're trying to,
you got to learn. You got to learn to work, guys, where possible. It's not always easy, but you got to try and work on your business, not in your business.
Yep.
And, with AI, and you and I are both learning, prompting. Oh God, prompting is driving me nuts. He said prompting is so effing good, guys. If you get that right
Yep.
prompt in, it'll spit out stuff you can't believe. It
Yep.
saves you.
Yeah,
It just
it's
saves you.
incredible.
Yeah, but the other day, for me, I was doing a spreadsheet, and I said, just for fun, I said, the number's 21, right? And it wasn't 21 at all, right? And it came out and said, yes, it's 21. I said, no, that's bullshit. Try it again. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake there. It's 43.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you got to keep an eye on it, guys, as well. Don't take everything as gospel,
For sure.
double check everything, guys. So it's a lot of fun. I love it. Send me down many a rabbit hole. Tell us a recent project or achievement amongst your many that you're particularly proud of.
So you mentioned it in my intro. So it's probably my favorite project. Is we printed some artificial reefs for the Florida Oceanographic Society, and the cool thing with those was they were looking for something very specific because Florida Oceanographic Society, they're also a rehab and restoration organization. So they have some turtles that were struck by boat propellers, and now they're no longer able to hold themselves underwater. They take on positive buoyancy.
Yeah.
So they're always looking for something to kind of get up under that they can pin themselves down. So when they came to us with the idea of a project, they said, "Hey, we're looking for artificial reefs, but could you make an arch? And that way the turtles can get up underneath the arch and just kind of hang out underwater."
Yeah.
And so we printed these things and we deployed them. And the amazing stat was 2 hours after they were in the water, the turtles were already using them. So it was like an immediate success story.
Fantastic.
They ended up ordering some more, and it's a feel-good story too, right? Because who doesn't want to help turtles, right?
It's a legacy. That's what you're doing. I mean, you must be proud driving around, seeing your stuff here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, no, and that's gratifying as well, right? To be able to go different places and it's concrete, so it's going to last forever. So long after I'm gone, there'll still be
it's
these monuments. So, yeah, for sure.
You probably feel like putting a little plaque on them, like that's sort of thing I'd do.
Yep.
1994. By Jeff the Business Guru. That's amazing. What advice would you give a young startup, a 20-year-old comes to you, male or female, just left school, not sure what they want to do? What would you tell them? I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to say, but we'll see how good I am. What would you tell them?
Yeah. I mean, so it depends on how deep I want to get, but I think the simple answer, like the simplest answer to your question, is just do it, right? Don't hesitate to
just do it.
Chase the dream, right? Go after it.
Right. That's where the travel comes in, right?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, take the risk, right? And especially when you're young and you have the ability to recover when things don't go the right.
It'll open up so many doors to the people you meet, because when you're back in your own country, you go to McDonald's, you won't even speak to anyone. You go overseas, you start talking to the whole bloody place. The people you meet, and the fun you have, and then I'd say the other one I'd add to it. Once you do find what you want to do, get a mentor, because that'll help you. Honest to God, I kid you not, it'll shave 5 or 10 years off the journey because they've already made the mistakes that you haven't even thought of. Right?
For sure.
It's a learning experience because we're all making mistakes every day. The idea is to learn from them. Don't make the same ones. Keep moving. Right.
Yep.
So they call it experience.
And I'll add to that, Jeff, too, because I think the other thing, kind of, you mentioned the mentor, and that's a really awesome one. And I think parallel to that a lot of people don't give enough credit to is, join the networking groups, join the, go to the social hours, right? Do all the, the things that don't have any immediate business value, right? Where you're not looking at it as a sales outlet, but just to meet people, right?
Give value. Give value.
Yep.
You give value, guys. Sure. Come back in spades. What's a smile cost you, guys? What's a smile cost you? If you see a reasonable, homeless man, what's it going to stop and buy him a cup of coffee and stop and have a yarn to? Some of these guys have got. I've done this. They've got some really amazing stories. Another one I do. I'm a big reader. What I do after I read a book, I don't need it anymore. After I read a book, I put a little note inside the book. I say, pass it on. I look around the coffee shop. No one's watching. I just get up and walk out and leave the book there. So if the next guy finds it, they're going to get the same rewards I got from the book. It's a bit of fun.
That's awesome. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, I was just paying it forward, my friend. Paying it forward. Looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future?
So for me right now, I mean, this year and into the next year, it's converting my company from startup to like out of that phase of the business, right, to actual full production. So it's a scaling question. So that's kind of my immediate challenge. I'm also looking at maybe an exit in several years, right?
Sure.
It's
have a plan. Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun doing this, and I'm going to continue to have a lot of fun. But I'm also I'm interested in.
Don't be like me. Don't stay too long.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
build it and then move on. Move on to the next thing.
Yep.
Man, I've just been to an island here. It's a beautiful island. I'm not sure if you've been. You've been to Boracay?
No, I haven't.
just out of Manila, beautiful, one of the top 10 islands in the world. I went there for the first time, and the ideas I saw, unbelievable. Some of the,
Yeah.
and they were on the street, they were vending, right? They were on the street, all these vendors. So, what, you want to buy a ticket for the boat? You want to buy a ticket for the boat? Or, the usual stuff, but probably do this in Florida too, probably. Anyway, I was, they were pretty cool though, because once you said no, they didn't go on with it, right? Which is good.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
then I said to my girl straight away, I said, and it was hot as hell. And being all tourist, right? I said, I'm going to get these little trays you put around your neck, right? And I was going to be Dr. Jeff. That was the T-shirt was going to be Dr. Jeff, and I had everything. I had suntan lotion, I had sunscreen, mosquito repellent, condoms, you name it. And I'd be walking, Mr. Jeff, and then you need this shit. Oh shit, Sonny, oh, there's some sunscreen there. Sunglasses, little hats. Dr. Jeff. I was going to have these vendors all stretched out along the beach, and just for the cash flow, right? And you probably pick up a couple of grand a day, So that's how I used to think in my younger days. So I saw that opportunity immediately.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, then again,
Yeah.
This day and age, especially for Chinese, this day and age, anything you do gets copied within a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can't copy your brain, because you're always moving. They're people that copy you are a couple of steps behind, because they're copying what you've done last year.
Yeah. No, that's the skill that you've got then. That's the entrepreneurial perspective, right? You move through the world and you see the opportunity to make business, right? So
I can't help myself.
Yeah.
Today, I'm going to tell you a funny story. Today, I bought these online. I saw this bloody ad. I got sucked in. It was a light that goes inside your cupboard, so that when you open the cupboard, the light comes on. I thought that'd be good for my girl, because she can find her clothes in the dark. Put a couple of lights in there, it makes it easier. So I bought them, and they weren't as cheap as what they should be, because they're only out of China. Anyway, I went down the basement to pick them up, and there was a guy there. I kid you, not going to shock. He had about 90 black plastic bag parcels on a table. And I got talking to the guy. I said, he said, oh, they're all for this building. And in my area, we've got 10 such buildings. And I thought, if so many people in my condo are ordering crap from this company, it's like sort of like mail order. I'm thinking, wow. And I know I've been to China about 20 times. I'm thinking to myself, if this could be your retirement plan here, go and buy hot stuff, something that's hot, what a hot item is. You buy some hot items, whack them up on the web, buy one, get one free, or whatever the marketing is. And I love the cash flow. I think to myself, but then I smack myself in the head and say, Chef, get back to what you're good at. Just can't do everything, my friend.
Yeah.
And you know this from your travels. They're like buses. It's a new idea every day.
Yeah.
It's a matter of which one you hop on, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah, well, I've had plenty of successful businesses, so I've done it all. Anyway, back to our podcast. So how can our listeners reach out and find out more about your wonderful product? And
Sure. So
opportunities. What's the best way?
So I'd say it's the best to go to our website, because it's got a portfolio of the kind of stuff we do, and it helps make a lot more sense of what I'm talking about. Yep. So it's www.printera3d.com.
Right.
And then we're also on all the socials, so you can find us on Instagram, TikTok. I never thought I'd have a TikTok, but here I am with a TikTok. But yeah, anything, YouTube, right? So look us up, and you'll find us on all the platforms.
Yeah. And who do you do? You don't. I guess you don't deal with mum and dad so much. Do you deal mainly with corporate, as far as
predominantly it's developers and general contractors, but we will do at least in the local market in Florida and the area, we will do direct to consumer if somebody wants a fancy planter or something for their backyard.
Nice.
Or an outdoor kitchen, right? We've
there you go, guys.
There you
go. Go and have a look. Go and have a look online, guys. The opportunities are endless. Right. Before we wrap it up, tell us a fun fact about yourself that most people do not know.
Ooh, that's one, man. I'm on the spot with that one. All right. Well, then, all right. This can be an allusion to maybe what my next thing would be. So if I were to sell my company tomorrow, and what I would go turn around and do is I would probably start up a video game studio and make a game. I've been told I'm a really good writer. I don't know how pertinent that is in these days of the age of AI, but I think it would be fun to develop a video game.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, well, that's a bit. If you get the right one, the world's your oyster, isn't it? If you get the right one.
Yeah.
There's plenty of right. Look at me. Sure, I go back to Space Invaders. Couldn't stay away from it, you know. And I no doubt they're still playing it today. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
there
Yeah.
are some products, guys, that just last a lifetime. Another one of my favourite stories is, I don't know if you remember, is the bull worker. It's something that they stretch the things out. And what happened, guys, I kid you not, back in my generation, every year, every 14-year-old kid who wanted to impress the girls had a bull worker, right? So there's millions of bull workers around the world sitting in people's garages. And an interesting story about that, I read a case, they ran the same ad. Why change it? They ran the same ad in girly magazines and where boys would read. They ran the same ad for 39 years.
Wow.
Incredible, huh? Now that's a nice little success story. That's a nice little chunk of change there. Yeah. Anyway, guys, if you want your 15 minutes to fame, just like our friend Justin said, please come on the show. Every man and woman's got a story and an adventure, and we want to hear yours. It's never always smooth. Everyone thinks it might be when they see the big house and the big car, they think it's all smooth sailing. Well, Justin will tell you it ain't smooth sailing, guys. It's hard work, and mainly turn up. The big one is turn up, guys. And like me, you'll be living the dream. So, guys, there's the invitation. Come on our show, 15 Minutes of Fame, where it's all about you. And like Justin, we'll be putting him across Quora, Reddit, LinkedIn, Facebook, our Facebook group with 6,500 entrepreneurs, and of course his YouTube, our YouTube channel with all of his social media links, so you guys can reach out to him. Thanks for being on the show today, Justin. It's been awesome, my friend.
My pleasure. Thanks again.